thank you. Well, good afternoon, and welcome to our last panel on the Skeptic Track for 2019. We made it. We survived the DragonCon again, another year. Yay!
Speak for yourself, Angie.
Well, it took about 2 cups of coffee before my eyes were awake this morning, but we made it. We made it. Thank you everybody for coming to the shows. Thank you everybody on the panel for such a great job. But before we go any further, I want to thank Mark Ditzler and his AV crew have worked their butts off this entire con. Mark, would you please come up to the microphone and introduce your crew, because they work harder than anybody else I know, besides Margaret.
I am Mark Ditzler, the head of, or the face behind Calico Cove, in case you're not familiar with it. But I am not the only one who makes this event happen. I have lots of help, wonderful volunteers, some of them who've already had to leave. But out here today, in the front, in no particular order.
Yeah, would you scoot up to the mic, please? We can barely hear you up here. Don't touch the mic, don't touch the mic.
Okay. We have John Olthoff.
Hey, John.
Brian O'Hara. Elizabeth Gordon.
Yeah,
and for those of you who don't know, that's my lovely wife.
Yay!
Behind the switch, we have Sarah Smith.
Yeah, Sarah.
Hey.
Ed Newbaum is taking a break right now here in the back.
Yay, Ed.
And I've got 3 or 4 others who are not here today because they've already done their stuff, but thank them very much for their help also.
And what's their names so we can acknowledge them?
We've had Maureen Haley. Scott, what's the new?
What's the new dude's name?
We were short one.
Got the new guy.
We were short one guy.
Oh, Sam, the new guy.
Sam. And we actually pulled a guy out of the audience and says, "You want to learn how to use a camera?" So thanks to him for jumping in and helping out. So I just can't roll that name off my head yet because I haven't known it that long.
Yeah, and I had a couple of friends who chipped in early, like in the first day, to help a little bit because y'all were shorthanded.
And Chip and Cindy Henry helped us with load in, load out. They don't come to do cameras, but they always help us with load in, and they'll be here in a few minutes to help us with load out.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, last year, your entire crew and yourself had 10 hats. Where are your 10 hats this year?
Foiled again.
Oh. That was not a setup, people.
I don't know, because John was the one who made the hats for us last year, so we better ask John.
Better insulation for the windows.
I had the old stuff right down here for you.
I know that.
Okay.
I'd like to make them afterwards.
Okay, well, tinfoil hats later, apparently. So, I love the MIT study that showed that actually makes it worse. It conducts if you Google MIT aluminum hat,
makes RF energy bounce around inside your head?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it makes you more receptive to the most likely government transmission frequencies. I swear. MIT did this amazing study. It's online. Allie, somebody or other, was the chief investigator on it. And they used all the equipment and everything. It was an amazing study, and they showed different hat designs that they had to choose between. So if you Google MIT aluminum hat study, I think that's what you can, the Google food.
So they have different hat designs. They've tested different designs like bowlers and,
they had 3 different ones. They had like the traditional cone, they had the cap, I can't remember them all now, but it's one of my, did you find it? Did you find it?
Did they test the pyramid power?
And then there's one that just says I'm an idiot.
And which one does prevention of the chemtrails?
Oh, I don't think any of them invented the chemtrail or prevented. Oh my gosh, prevented the chemtrails. I think that those just kind of get stuck in the cracks. Anyway, so Google that one. It's a lot of fun.
I've just been told. If anybody is not aware of it yet, we were live streaming this year.
Yep.
For the panels, and they will be available for on-demand playback at video.skeptrack.org.
That was the very next thing. Thank you very much. Your mind reader. You must be psychic. So,
Not in this
okay,
panel.
I'm skeptical. Yes, okay. Anyway, thank you again, Mark. Y'all work so hard to do such a great job and make this look like the most professional ever. Thank you so much. And then, Margaret, I know you had some assistance on the parade. Would you please, and thank you for all of that. Would you please talk about, thank your...
Well, first of all, I had a wonderful assistant this year named Christine Jones. Could you stand up, Christine, and then everybody see you? And, we organized 45 costumes to loan out, and people returned them all, and we had no problems, although our geologist had a stuffed raccoon in her backpack as just kind of a joke, and somebody stole our raccoon.
Aw.
So that costume is missing a raccoon now, or the raccoon ran away. I don't know. I can't say for sure. But that was the only mishap we had this year. We were so happy to have Matt Delahunty be the skeptical sheriff, and he rocked the costume and high-fived the kids, and he was after the flim-flammers, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. And let's see, the flying spaghetti monster was in our particular section. She was great, although her car had a heavy-duty exhaust that was pretty bad. And we had Richard Saunders. He was a Greek philosopher. And your son, Kurt, John is his name, he was the truth fairy. So we had some great signs, great participants. I encourage everyone to think about participating with us next year. If you want to participate next year, let me know. Let me know if you're bringing a costume. Let me know if you want to borrow one. And it makes it a lot easier than waiting to the last minute. My information is at the website. I think, Derek, is it? On our Facebook page. You can always go there to the DragonCon Marching Parade Skeptics.
Yep. Okay. So, what were y'all's impressions? What did you come away with? What did you learn? What did you want to do more of or less of? Anything?
Start to descend?
I know there's like 8 questions, but I'm just going to let you pick at this point because I'm exhausted. So.
It was another great con. I always enjoy performing and sharing, and it never ceases to amaze me that just every year somebody comes up and says, I loved everything, but there's one particular thing that you said that it turned the light on for me. And, and I know that talking to the other panelists, we all experience that. And it's just amazing that there may be an experience I've had that really touches one person, but nobody else gets. And then, Matt has somebody come up and what he said touches somebody else and didn't hear a thing I said. And so the diversity of the panels and the way people approach things in our experience is all part of a collective community that really makes a difference, and it just never ceases to amaze me how well that works.
What impressed me in many things, of course, I haven't been here for nearly a decade, and it occurred to me that the young lady sitting next to me on day one, Bailey Harris, the author of 3 books, was 2 years old the first time I came to DragonCon and sat at this table. I don't know if that impressed me or scared me or what. For someone coming back after a decade of not being here, of course, it's much the same, great costumes and people having fun, but the sheer volume of people was breathtaking for me. And the scale keeps getting bigger and bigger. I just wonder how much bigger it can get. But I'll make every effort to be, if Derek and Angie will have me, I'll make every effort to come back next year. I was very pleased to be busy this time. I had panels, I had discussions, I had live podcasts to do, and I think that makes me happiest of all.
Yeah, we will write you in pen.
Okay.
Okay, in ink. But even with the size of the crowd, though, don't you find that it's a really good-natured group?
It's one of the best-natured groups I've ever come. Everybody is out there for everybody else. That they all realize that you have to stand aside when the Wookiee comes by, or the swords, or whatever the hell it is, and people understand that. That's cool. That's great. I mean, there's a crush of people, but it all works somehow. Yeah.
How about you, Jamie?
Yeah, that's actually, my partner Ann and I were just discussing this the other day, that because we live in San Diego, and so we go to Comic-Con every year. And, the the first time I was at DragonCon, which is years ago, one of the first things that became apparent to me is that the DragonConners consider the Comic-Coners, as amateurs. And I think there's some real truth to that, because Comic-Con is maybe 20% cosplayers and DragonCon is 20% people in civilian clothes. But the big difference for us that we were commenting on is that there is a distinct culture to DragonCon that really seems to run through the whole thing. It's nothing to do with tracks or anything else that is lacking at Comic-Con. There's some of that at Comic-Con, but there really is this feeling to me at DragonCon of this kind of unified subculture, and the tone is joyous and gentle and kind, and it's a really lovely thing. It's a good thing too, because otherwise we'd be killing each other in the elevators.
You were able to get those elevators?
Man, those elevators are a test. But yeah, I love having a chance here to take part in the Skeptic track. I'm happy to offer that. I'm happy to try and think up something new to do every year. But my personal pleasure here is not so much attending events as just every night we just cruise the 3 atriums and just watch the human show. Yeah. And
Absolutely. Human show.
Yeah. Well, the human and alien and animal and furry and
Yeah, it's sort of like a moving art exhibit. It's like there's never the same.
That's really my favorite thing about it is just walking through and
The
watching
effort,
that.
the creativity and the effort people put into making their own costumes. It's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and they'll commit to a character too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but they commit to a character. We were coming back from the Hyatt last night after the Puppet Slam.
Well,
So that's at
committed to
2
your
o'clock in the
character,
morning, or 2:30 in the morning. We're coming back from the Westin, and as we came across the Hyatt Bridge, there was just some dude in a Jason costume just standing there with the music playing, and it was creepy as hell. And people were kind of skirting around, and like nobody wanted to get too close. He didn't even move. But whoever that was had committed to that character. And it was just a great experience for everybody in the breezeway. It was or in the Habit Trail. It was just amazing. So I'm sorry, I can't see. Oh,
I
Matt.
bumped into
Yes, Matt.
Chewbacca last night. Boy, hit him right in the navel.
What did you say? I can't
She
hear.
ran into
Chewbacca.
Oh,
Oh, and also Angie brought me to wrestling. We saw the end of the wrestling,
yep.
which, as goofy as that stuff looks on TV, it's even goofier.
It's even better. It's even better in real life.
Because basically those fake hits, it's more like men near each other pawing the air, and that was wild. So Angie, thank you for as always, expanding my experience of the world.
We got there not long before the end of it. And, so we saw like the last 20 minutes. They'd already had the Battle Royale, so we missed that part. I was sad to say.
Who was wrestling when you got there?
I don't know, some dudes in tights. But anyway, so who cares? But anyway, it wasn't the Marriott carpet guy, because that would have been amazing. But they'll like throw each other out of the ring, and you have to move your chairs. It's so much fun. But even though it's fake, it's still hard. They can really get hurt. Emergency physician, like I'm thinking job security, but they've got these huge like welts on them from like either hitting themselves in the chest for sound effect, or actually like bumping into each other, something. They could seriously get hurt. But they're all again, it's very good nature. They yell and fight and whatever. People are yelling, "Go kill him!" And they're but it's just fun, and it's so much fun. So Matt, how about you? What were your?
This was my first DragonCon, and thank you.
And hopefully not the last.
No, evidently I'll be back next year in as many years as people want me here. So, although I will have to fucking educate some people about wrestling, because it's not fake. It's scripted. That's not the same as fake, and I have too many friends who've been permanently injured or killed from wrestling for me to ever call it fake.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right,
it
okay.
can look incredibly
That
goofy.
poor
Just
choice
walking
of
down the
words.
street,
That's true. But no, I know for next year there's some stuff I need to probably plan better. This was just like sensory overload for me to be around this many people doing cool stuff and weird stuff, and it was like, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. And next year and in future years, I'll have a better plan, but I really just wanted to focus on the panels and meeting people on the Skeptic track, and then, I don't know, finding how to use the service elevators.
Well, you found those.
I did, yeah. But it's over now.
Yeah, the guests are allowed, yeah.
No, but I really enjoyed it. I was really grateful for everybody who showed up and watched us do magic and listened to me talk, and yeah, I'll be back.
This was Bob's second DragonCon, right?
Yeah, this was my second one, and the first one I had the feeling that you had overwhelmed, by the whole magnitude of everything. And this time I got to settle in, and it's really nice to be part of this skeptic community and to have been invited back, and it means a lot to me. It's great to be part of a group of people who are in a pursuit for the truth, and that's really what I cherish from this. And the opportunity to reach out to people and try to help in that pursuit for truth. And it's just such a great group of people. The first year, just getting to know everybody here, and now I feel like everybody's my friend.
Aw. Although I have to say, if you're not wearing your hat, it is hard to recognize you.
I showed up. I walked up to Jamie and Angie.
Jamie,
I said, "Hey, how you guys doing this year?" And they
we're
said,
like,
"Who are you?"
"Hi. Do we know you?"
I don't have the hat with me. I'm
But
sorry.
as soon as he started talking, we knew exactly who he was.
I made that as a note for next year for me to wear a hat, not for the normal reasons, but right now there could be 10 people out there or 200 people, and the only people know are Jamie, Margaret, and Bob, because they get a light shield so they can see a little further than I can.
Yeah.
See?
Clever
right.
little
Good
device.
Look, there they are.
Yeah, there the people are. Yeah, there they are. Hello.
Wow. Yeah, I can't see shit now.
Next year, I want to dress Bob up for the parade as Clarence Darrow. Would he be an
that would
awesome
be
Clarence
great.
Darrow?
I'm not committing to anything yet.
Well, what about everybody out there that we can see if we cover our eyes? I mean, what are your experiences? Come up into the microphone, the magic microphone that is artificially intelligent, and we'll adjust.
Now we can see you.
Yay!
Hi, this is Teddy. I'm also the flying spaghetti monster. I'm sorry about the exhaust. I didn't know that. My car's older. Well, it's old enough to drink, so so that happened. I just wanted to say how impressive the kids were. Like, I was blown away
Yes.
by their poise up at the podium, how well they answered the questions. They did better than many adult panelists did. And I know some of them are yours. Some of them probably belong to other people in this room. They were amazing, and I think they're going to do wonderful things. That was my most impressive thing.
That was wonderful.
That was a good panel.
Yeah, I think my kids and who was it? It was Barbara Drescher's and my kids. Yeah, it was the first one of those, and I'm so happy that we can. We need more kids though, so y'all reproduce and.
Please.
Yeah, I know, I'm done too, but.
We should get Barb, actually. That's a good Barb Drescher.
We've had her many years, but she moved house this year, so I'm trying to. She used to come a lot, but then there were some personal family kind of stuff, and she couldn't come back for a few years. Annie was also coming, and so we're hoping that we can start getting them back into the fold.
Yeah.
3 years in about 7 or 8 years in a row.
Yeah, she came a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she does such great. She does some really great talks.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
made this.
Oh yes, of course. Here.
She made this
Give me that.
while
Is that right?
well, she was on
She
panel.
made
she was walking
this.
That, and
Oh, wow.
She felted
Great
this.
over here.
That's
She
fantastic.
felted this fabulous dragon. Isn't that amazing? And she did it while she was on the panels.
Can you pass it down so the rest of us can felt it too?
You know. Oh my God.
If it
The
wasn't
magnifying
else?
glass
I'd
is
have no jokes at all.
great.
It's cool.
Anyone else? Oh, here, somebody.
So I am so happy that I got to come back to DragonCon this year. I am even more ecstatic that we were able to get Matt here and all of you on the panels, and for all y'all to contribute your parts to our discussions and help expand our ability to think skeptically and rationally and analyze things and try and cut off as much as possible of our personal and collective cognitive biases. I also am ecstatic at the fact that this track has grown as much as it has in the years since it was introduced, because we had lines, and not just little lines. We had lines that wrapped around stuff, which is what all the sci-fi and fantasy and all those have had. They've had those for years, but we're actually growing this movement and this way of thinking, and I want to see that continue, and I want all of us to contribute and continue to make this a bigger thing.
Yeah. Did it seem like more this year?
Oh, yeah.
To you? Yeah, it felt like that to me
significant.
too.
Until yesterday.
Until yesterday. Oh yeah, the hurricane did dent some of the attendance.
And Margaret and I were talking, and we were saying the fact that the Sheridan issued before the con didn't help either. So
No, but I mean, even I don't know about the overall DragonCon numbers, but it felt to me like, first of all, Wednesday is the new Thursday,
right,
and Thursday's the new Friday because programming starts.
It's impossible to set things up. We were actually
So it does make it difficult to set things up, but it felt like there were more people here. I mean, again, it's a cognitive bias, but personal anecdote, whatever. But it just seemed like the room was fuller. I didn't do an actual count, but I mean, I could see people standing up along the back wall more than.
It might be a
past
combination of greater numbers, but I think it's also that we're actually starting to pull more people.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I felt like there was more in here. So thank you for pointing that out.
And as
Appreciate
someone
you
who's been
back.
coming to the Skeptrack, and I'll ask this to you, but also to everyone here, if people are interested in the Skeptrack, whether this is their first year or they've been here in previous years, if there's anything in the way of the Skeptrack programming that you would like to see or think
Yes.
would be a good idea, this is your moment to tell us that.
I've got my thing. I'm ready. I'm making notes.
We would really like to hear that.
People send me emails during the year or two. Please do, because I integrate that stuff. Two things this year were because people sent me the ideas. So.
Hi.
G'day guys. So
I'll translate. Hello, everybody.
thank you, Richard. First time in the US, first DragonCon. I'd like to say again, the attendees have been amazing.
The entire U.S. is like this all the time.
Yes, that's
Except for the White House.
The one thing I've noticed, because I'm with multiple different tracks and getting to meet all the Brits and the Doctor Who clubs and all that, I've had dinners, so basically after the events we've had group dinners and group breakfasts, so I'm wondering whether there'd be any interest in everyone getting together on a day for a breakfast.
Very few people like to get up early.
You could,
Well,
hey, start like
dinner.
start like a meetup group for DragonCon,
Yeah.
and then put stuff like that on it, like make a Skeptrack meetup thing, and then you can create events on it.
yeah. Well, we used to do like a morning breakfast sort of thing.
And I still do,
Yeah.
yeah. And so there's one or two or three or sometimes
Yeah.
4 or 5 people there. So
it's not a bad idea.
No.
Brekkie, as we call it, right?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, just an idea. I this year have gotten really into street epistemology. I don't know if any of you've heard of that.
Yeah, we've had
Okay,
talks
yeah, I don't know, I
before.
have no idea.
And they're
Street
wonderful.
epistemology. Anthony
So, like,
Magnabosco is like one of my best
Yeah,
friends.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
he's
actually
been here
he's
a couple
actually
of
the thing that got me in. And yeah, so like a panel on that. I don't know if like
Yeah.
we could
He
practice
was here,
that.
what,
Oh,
last year?
last year,
I think
year
he was here
before,
last
we
year and the year before.
Actually,
Okay.
The year before last, we actually had him actually here. He actually did a talk.
Yeah.
And then we did there's a couple people did a workshop.
Yeah.
It was a for pay workshop, but it was a real in-depth thing. But yeah, we did a bunch of that last year and year before.
We do have the Street Epistemology show from Skeptrack 2017 on the video side.
Yeah, so
Okay,
some of
so-
them you can get online.
Yeah, it's on the video. Yeah. Old ones. Anyone else? What about great memories or creepy Jason figures
Best
in the
costume
Habit
you
Trail?
saw all DragonCon. Now, get
Best
it online.
costumes.
Nobody saw any costumes?
I thought the flying spaghetti monster was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was coming back from somewhere last night, and there in the street, the flying spaghetti monster bubbling along.
That's right.
That's me.
That was you.
Teddy, are
She
you
got
the
new
only
balls
one that
too,
does
Richard.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. Wonderful.
You were involved with a conversation with a mobile time machine. That's what you see at DragonCon, right?
Yeah.
And
There was
sentences
a-
you hear at DragonCon.
And
was
was
a
the warlock
9-foot
there?
I don't think at that time.
Oh, okay.
We did did have an interesting meeting with a.
Can you go up to
Go
the
to the mic.
microphone, please?
We had a really fun meeting with Buddy Christ and Thor and some kind of a nun that was.
Did you get a picture?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, there's
I
evidence.
need the picture.
I will share the picture.
You need the, oh, geez, I need that.
Yep.
One of my favorite costumes I hadn't seen before, there was about a 9-foot tall Anubis, and it took 4 people to put the guy in the costume, and you know, he walked like normal, but it was almost like a ventriloquist dummy where he had levers and stuff to move the eyes and different things, and it was
Wow.
That
just
thing was amazing. And I have
unreal.
that must have cost a lot of money, if not just
Yeah.
the material, but the time.
Yeah.
That was like professional work. It was
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
I think he only did it like for a little while because I never saw it again. But
Yeah, it was crazy, but I saw him putting it on. He couldn't put it on in the bathroom. It took 4 people to help him get in and get everything hooked up and strapped in, and it was just. And then we saw him walking to the food court, and I'm like, that is incredible.
Yeah, there was there were quite a few like oversized costumes this year. Like there was a whole Fifth Element group that was here
Yeah,
I
they were
saw
cool.
last night, and then there was some Infinity War, the guy, purple guy, what's his name? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, that guy, yeah, Thanos. Yeah, thanks. So Thanos I saw downstairs like Thursday. I mean, it was. I don't even think I saw him again.
I saw him
It was
at
like the one night.
I saw him at the rave trying to dance.
Ooh.
I say trying to dance.
He kept pumping his fist, and people disappeared.
I met the woman and the man who created the time machine that we all passed on the way to the parade route. And the woman was the warlock. The man
Morlock.
was, what's that?
Morlock.
Morlock. I'm sorry. And she was telling me the night before that they actually hired the man who created the outfit for the creature from the Black Lagoon to create her entire outfit.
Wow.
And that's the kind of dedication people have to their costuming and to the presentation of their favorite films. I mean, these people go totally out.
If you really want to see this in action, take like an hour one time you're here at DragonCon and go to one of the special effects costuming panels and see, and those people go up to the mic. It's kind of like a different language. It's like if you're like not a geek and you hear geeks talk, I don't know much about how to do special effects costuming, and it's the same way. It's like, what are they saying? But oh yeah, I spent $25 on a flimmer's flang, and it's like, but it's amazing because you know how much work they put into this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really
They
amazing.
were great costumes, and I love the one that Margaret was talking about, the time machine thing. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's a ton of work. The ones that shocked me the most actually weren't necessarily costumes as much as the people where I had to do a double or triple take, where they're just dead ringers. Like there was an Arya Stark that walked past me.
Oh no, yeah.
That I swore was Maisie.
I actually followed her a bit to see if it was actually her.
And there was a Scotty behind us in the parade that I had to do a
Scotty's
double
always
take
here.
for.
He's always so amazing.
And last night I thought I saw Adam Savage walk in the damn room.
Wow, that was Evan Bernstein.
That guy's been coming here since before Adam Savage came to my track 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And that guy's been coming, and he actually had him come to one of the events so they could talk with each other, some people to take pictures.
I was kind of frustrated because the only thing I could really do is trim my beard and come as like Rick from Pawn Stars or something.
Christine Jones and I had drinks last night with Groucho Marx. And I mean, this guy had all the lines down, and it was hilarious. He didn't miss a beat.
I miss Mayor McKees this year. He always smokes slideshow karaoke at Solve for X that used to be across the hall here, but got moved over to the Hyatt. And if you do ever see Mayor McCheese, he is always in campaign mode. It's the funniest interactions that you'll ever have. He's, I am pro pickle, and it's just hilarious. Yes, sir.
Just want to add in, you may have actually seen Adam Savage with his company Tested. He was doing private workshops, so I had a private workshop with him.
Oh, okay.
The Wookiee you ran into is Adam Savage.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
There you go.
Oh.
There's your
Wookiee here?
Wookiee.
He walked right
Oh, yeah, because there's only one Wookiee here.
See that?
Yep.
He walked right past me the other night.
I didn't
and
see it,
I
and I
know
would've
Adam
known if it was
Savage. He
him.
didn't say hello.
Yeah.
Because he does that.
Yeah, he said that at the.
What was he talking about in the workshops? Was he talking about building R2s or that kind of thing?
Yeah, came up here. We have questions for you. You need to stay there.
So we were doing armor crafting. We had to submit a photo of a cosplay that we were building. So I'm building it's from Fallout, a suit of power armor that is one of Adam's designs. So I sent him the photos of what I've been building, and he sent me an email back saying, yes, you're accepted, come on down.
Wow.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So it was things like how to get a good gloss and a good finish, how to get weathering and rusting or bullet holes, and then how to add in all your cooling systems and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
Cooling
amazing.
systems are important.
Now, you were a Cyberman here, right?
Yep.
And you brought your Cyberman gear all the way from Melbourne, Australia.
It was the only one that I could bring. A Dalek won't fit in the overhead. and the Hulk doesn't work in enclosed spaces.
But I think that's incredible that you, I mean, it's great that people come here from all around the United States and Canada and whatever, but from Melbourne, Australia?
I'm not the only one. There was 4 or 5 from Sydney that came over with their full cosplay.
Wow.
Wow.
There was a lot of UK guys that have flown over with blow-up Dalek suits.
Would you please have one of them stick Michael Marshall in a trunk or something and ship him over? Because I've been trying to get him onto the track. But
So remember what I was saying about go over and spend some time in the costuming track? See what I mean?
There you go. There you go. So my favorite like obscure costume fandom is the Marriott carpet. I just love that. It's
The cult of the carpet.
the cult of the Marriott carpet. So do y'all know about the story?
No.
Okay, so maybe not
That's right. He hasn't come back since.
Okay, so about 5 or 6 years ago, there was a group of folks there was a very distinctive carpet at the Marriott, and it was in all of the DragonCon photographs and for years. And so these people did costumes out of the same pattern, and like they were camouflage, and they would kind of crawl around and commando on the ground. People would trip on them because they were great costumes. Anyway, and so they had a little car, I think, even at that point. But they got a cease and desist letter from the designer of the carpet, and said to say, "Don't do this anymore." Well, if you know what fans do, if you tell them not to do something, they so far overshoot it that the opposite way. And they're like, okay, we give up. But then the Marriott tore out the carpet to replace it because it was time. But they have somebody took the rest of the carpet, which you could still purchase pieces on eBay because I did it.
It's a Berlin Wall of carpet.
It is. I bought 2 pieces on eBay, and I have one of them framed in my office. I swear. Anyway, so, okay, this makes me sound way weirder than I really am, or like I really feel, but I know, right? These are my people. Anyway, so then this sort of organic movement has sprung up with, you've seen the carpets. There's a TARDIS out there in the Marriott carpet pattern that has appeared overnight. I guess it got lost, like it was seeking for 10 years ago, but because it was in camouflage. But anyway, so it has come out. There were car wraps. They're in the parade. They have a section. There's one of the T-Rexes is in the Marriott carpet pattern.
We saw Stormtrooper.
Yep, Stormtrooper is there.
Who had applied the fabric on his
Exactly. And I was talking to somebody yesterday or the day before who was driving around Decatur like 4 months ago, and the Marriott carpet truck, like the truck wrap, was just there parked on the street in Decatur. Like they live here, I guess. So anyway, now there is in Marriott, and I'm not sure exactly where it is, but it's under some sort of table where you can still see the edge of the carpet. And last year, fans started putting like candles and teddy bears and flowers, and there's this whole shrine to it now. There's this whole shrine to it now. So y'all go try to find that and take me to it because I want to see it.
You forgot about the fact that one of the actual WWE wrestlers did a whole outfit in it and actually did it on national TV right before DragonCon, like the day before. It was like
amazing.
The whole outfit is Marriott carpet.
That's amazing. I saw a woman who passed by. I was coming back from the other end of this level like about 3 hours ago, and she had this really cute dress, and I was going to chase her and find out where she got it, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get the fabric and make my own. So
I think you have pajamas, don't you?
I have pajamas.
Yeah.
And I went as DragonCon to CSI Con's Halloween party. They had a costume party, and I went as DragonCon. So I had the Marriott carpet pajamas on and like a Chinese food container around my, like as a purse and everything.
Well, the only thing that happened here at the Hilton that we could honor, we used to have escalators up and down right outside that door.
Right.
But you weren't here for the 2 years after that happened. People actually had strike signs.
Yes.
And they were like, we will never come back if you don't put back the escalator. It was a big deal.
It was so convenient. I miss that. Why don't we try to bring it back by dressing like as escalators?
Well, wouldn't that just escalate matters? Oh, come on.
Well, they had a sign up the first year that said, sorry for the inconvenience.
They did. I remember.
I was here all week.
It's come to this, folks.
Okay.
Came to a dead standstill.
Yeah, we were just, right. So,
What I was amazed at are those Tyrannosaurus Rex costumes fit perfectly on the escalator.
They are just inflated, so
they're inflatable.
Yeah, so they can do that.
Yeah,
They're
squeezies.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I liked the dueling. The dance parties out here are so fun now. But even still, let's talk about the moving art. Like there was one night, like a bunch of red shirts just kind of laid on the ground, right? Because eventually it's not a party until all the red shirts are dead. And
I think the Hilton has the best DJ of all the hotels. He has a greatest playlist. He keeps it rocking.
he really does.
Just the whole time.
So,
He's
Margaret,
really
tell us about your Gilligan's Island brush with fame.
Yeah, so I spotted the entire Gilligan's Island cosplay play thing, and and I'm looking at Gilligan, and I'm thinking about my dad who just died last year, and he worked on Gilligan's Island doing special effects. So even though my dad's dead, I just for just fun for me, I went up and asked Gilligan to dance with me. So Angie took some pictures of me dancing with Gilligan.
Well, your father designed the props, is that right?
What's that?
Didn't you say that your father designed the props?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He knows a lot about coconuts.
Is that what you put the lime in? You put the lime in the coconut?
Yeah. Aside from that, Angie, coconuts can be used for other things like
Besides
radios.
drinking? I can't imagine.
What was his favorite prop that he made for the show?
It was something for the professor, but his big thing was he actually won, his crew won an Oscar for Spider-Man 2.
Oh, wow.
So, but he did a lot of B-rated scary movies like The White Buffalo. And it's this buffalo that goes wild. And just all kinds of fun things, giant spiders, ants, all those fun things that they've since disappeared. I wish I could get my hands on those props for our parade. Wouldn't that be fun?
I was about to say, this is where you get it, isn't it? Now I completely understand how you became this.
He also won an award for Winds of War. He made all the miniatures. And
wow,
I was
that's
kind of proud of
amazing.
his career.
So you came by it true. You and your whole have to make costumes and that's where you get it from.
It's genetic, okay.
I'm telling you, that Skeptic Farmer outfit that's Mary Ann.
Yeah.
So
It's just,
There you go. Any other suggestions for costumes for the Skeptics? Anyone?
We had a lot of costumes donated this year.
Oh, that's good.
Richard, you left your sandals back there. Did you mean to donate them?
No, I
he
actually
forgot 'em.
I forgot them.
I put them in the donation box, so I have to pull them out now.
I just thought that somebody could dress up as James Randi, but they get them confused with Charles Darwin, maybe, I think. But we could have a James Randi.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we do not portray people in the parade that are still alive. That's one of the rules, is because, we don't want to insult a living person with our interpretation.
We'll wait till they're dead.
The dead people.
But dead people, they're gone. They have nothing to say about it.
Come and get me.
Oh, any other special things? So we've heard some wonderful things about the costuming track. Any other special things that anyone has seen that they either didn't do before and enjoyed, or wanted.
Good stories, good stories. Let's hear some good stories.
What do you want to have back that you saw this year?
It's not something that you'd want that hasn't been here before, I'm sure. But I actually, aside from being a network engineer and a musician, so I actually decided to pop into the filming and the filming and pro lighting track that they had. And I actually ended up causing a whole new aspect of media that I got into just by sitting in there and learning about the lighting and cinematography and photography and video making. So that was really cool.
Where was that?
It was over at the Hyatt in the bottom level.
On the Hyatt,
But they had a guy come in that just really did a good job of explaining how you do lighting and cinematography and the different tricks that you can do with filters and bouncing light and all
That's
that
cool.
other stuff. So that was really cool.
Yeah, Mark Ditzler is right behind you. He could tell you some of that stuff too.
And see, this proves my point when I tell people, people ask, well, what's DragonCon about? It's like, I always tell people, and I'm not even kidding when I tell them this, I try to tell them, I'm not even close to kidding.
Are you really? Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
If you like something, you'll find it at DragonCon.
Mm-hmm.
So if you came to this convention, you can sequester yourself away and just do. I mean, he just proved it. If you go and all you like is stage lighting, you could just sit in that thing the entire con and be happy.
Or work for Mark and do it.
Work for Mark and then help my track.
That's right.
So based on the panel we had last night, and Steve Novell and I were sitting up here and we were talking about the need for philosophy, I think perhaps next year, if we can work it out, I'll do philosophy for skeptics instead of for dummies.
Yeah,
cover the things people need to know that they don't, because there's a bunch of shit they don't need to know.
Yeah, way back in the beginning of this track, we did it a couple of years, but it was way back, maybe 13 years ago, because I'm old.
Yeah. What you got, Mark?
Well, you guys talked about your favorite costumes. I want to know what the most disturbing costumes you saw were, and things like, Bob, did you see any psychic or gypsy costumes that made you want to open an investigation?
No, I didn't come across any of that.
The mashups I found were, I don't want to say disturbing, but it really made you think. A Superman Dalek or something ridiculous, like two completely different areas, and someone thought, I'll put these together and somehow it comes this new creature all to itself. I don't know if disturbing is the right word. You saw the mashups, some of you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like it when I see a costume and I have no idea who they are, but they look just like them. This is way too much work to be a random thing. And then another fun one is to play costume or not. Is that a costume? My wife walked around in not, I wouldn't think anything bizarre to me, but people are coming going, nice costume. She's like, this is every day. So.
This happened to me.
That happened to me. That happened to me.
Jamie's and Kurt's and Matt's show, I helped Matt. And he gave me this box. He said, he threw some random crap in this box. Like, can you hike that over because I don't have enough hands? So here I am going through this giant crowd with this box. I had one guy come up to me. He's like, dude, you're the best jerk. What? I'm like, oh my God, you're talking about the movie. At the beginning of the movie, puts
drop your pants.
Yeah, and then I
drop
was
your
like,
pants.
I was like, no, this is, I'm just moving a box. I said he would say that, and he walked away. I'm like, okay, that's just funny. So I'll keep going because I'm trying to get to the track room, and some other guy comes over in front of me, stops me, and he starts searching around. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? This is not my shit. And he's like, dude, what can I take? I said, no, this is not. I'm moving this stuff. And he goes, this is the worst cosplay ever. And he walked away. I'm just trying to move a box.
See, now I'm going to get to the next show and start to unpack everything, and something essential is going to be friggin' missing.
I don't think he took anything unless he was a magician, but I was like, all I'm trying to do is move this box from all the way down there to over here. But I was mistaken for being Steve Martin and whatever box guy this other guy thought I was.
Oh my gosh.
I'd like to come anonymously one year, just just really let go without worrying about who's watching me or who knows me. Maybe like the unknown comic or something. That'd be kind of fun.
That would still be a cosplay,
Huh?
That would still be cosplay then.
Yeah, it would.
You're gonna be like you're just gonna be like Adam Savage. Then.
Yeah.
Who basically comes to DragonCon almost every year, but you just usually it's Chewbacca, but he hasn't done it for a while. That's why I think if he actually was the tall Chewbacca, that was him.
Yeah.
That was him.
Well, Adam's been doing Adam Incognito at Comic-Con for many, many years. The first one he did was the Wookiee because he had that beautiful costume, but then it became a thing because he had posted, if you find me, I'll give you an iPad or something, and then that became a real thing. So for years,
Find me, Adam.
he's done that every year, and he puts it out on Twitter, and he walks the Comic-Con floor in costume.
Wow,
that's very cool. I don't know. That Jason was pretty creepy up in the habit trail.
And the rule is if you ask him directly, then he has to tell you the truth.
Oh.
That's why I was wondering if somebody did, because you would know then.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anything else? Any disturbing?
I saw a woman dressed as Carrie, and she looked pretty cool with the
She was really good, though.
That was really good, yeah.
Was she the one leaving the tampons on the floor?
Oh my God.
I saw more than one of those.
That was a few years ago. That hasn't happened recently.
Yeah, like right over your
We found
shoulder,
one
that's
before
where that
here,
line
about
was?
No, I saw one like yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Where?
Out on the, no, it was out in the.
Okay, this wasn't the.
It was from a few years ago, but just dropped yesterday.
It wasn't used.
I know that.
I did see somebody cosplaying as a young woman from The Grudge, and it was, she was like straight in character, walking up the stairs, and it was, yes, thank you.
Oh, before I forget, someone left something in the back of the room yesterday, and if someone is missing a poster, if you can describe the poster, I'll know it's yours. Did anyone leave a poster behind? Anybody? No. Nobody?
I left one back there that said Skeptic Sheriff on the lookout for.
That's your sign.
Oh, my God.
Oh, goodness.
So, Derek, we need to know whether we should keep it and the person might show up next year in this room and say, did you find
I
it?
can just put it in one of the bins and say.
Or I could put it with the costumes because it was back where
You
the
put in your
costumes
stuff
are.
so you
Yeah.
remember what it is. So
And maybe somebody will come next year and say, ugh, I lost my poster.
we had a purple backpack here since Saturday, and then finally this morning, like about 3 panels in, the lady comes in and said, I can't find my purple backpack. This is the last place I can think of. It could have been here. It's like it's been here since Saturday. We tried to look through it to find out whose the stuff it was. But she's like, oh my God, thank you. Because I wanted all the books and the pictures. And it's like, yeah.
It's so weird that you usually find it in the last place you love.
Yeah, why would you keep looking? Why would you keep looking?
Spooky.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any suggestions? Any particular things you'd like to see again? I've got the street epistemology, of course. We love that one. And I love the philosophy for skeptics. That's a good idea.
Kathy.
Hi. So I just want to comment to everybody up there, and I think Chuck and I had several experiences like this. Everyone is so approachable here. You don't have these icons that you have to have a barrage of security around it. You can't get to them if you want to have a conversation. And Chuck and I had just a delightful conversation around parenting children. After one of the sessions, almost always people are hanging around and having conversations about a common interest that they have, and I think that's lovely.
It's not a mistake. DragonCon tries to do that. We try not to be, I have to say it again, we try not to be Comic-Con. In fact, even the biggest name that comes here, the best they get is per diem and travel. They want the people to come to want to be here, part of the party. That's why they're not sequestered away. They're like on stage, and if you can catch them on the way back from their thing, you can try to talk to them, and they will. I've talked to many of the bigger name people just because I just walk by and I'm like, hey, and we just talk for 10, 15 minutes and they go along. Which I think that's a cool culture thing about DragonCon. It's also why we sometimes don't have as many huge names, because some of those people are like, I'm not going to do that. But like a couple of years ago, we had John Cusack, right? And
Well, he was hiding in the audience, though.
yes, but then he came back to Atlanta, part of his tour with High Fidelity. And we went, and somebody in the audience during the QA asked, like, so you came to DragonCon last year. How'd that happen? And he's like, well, number one, my agent said this person called about DragonCon. I looked it up. It sounded cool. I said yes.
There you go.
That's the extent that DragonCon does to get people to come here. But
Just to be there, just to be there.
So they want the people that come to actually want to be here. So they hate dealing with agents. It's like the worst thing. They hate it.
Exactly.
Once you get that in the way, they're like, ugh. You know, so.
Are there any other celebrities that have a particularly skeptical bent? Now, we're trying for Adam Conover. We're hoping, we're working. We had John Delancey last year.
I've been working with Margaret. We're trying to get Alan Alda to come.
Well, that's what I was talking to her about.
Because he's a big skeptic. He even has now his own wing at SUNY.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's it's for science and skepticism.
And Hugh Laurie has expressed
Yeah, Hugh Laurie.
interest.
We're looking at him too.
Hugh Laurie, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we're working on things.
We're working it, baby.
Yep. Anybody else?
So I'm going to put this name out there just because I would love to see these guys come here at some point, for DragonCon. And I've already mentioned it to Matt once before, but it would be really nice I think it would be nice anyway, if we could get No Illusions and the guys from Puzzle and a Thunderstorm here at some point.
No Illusions?
No Illusions of what?
No Illusions and the...
Eli.
I can't hear.
Eli
Eli
Bosnick
Bosnick. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think
I've
I
got
do
that on my
have a
list.
connection to them.
I like the opening arguments guys
God-awful
too.
movies guys.
I like the opening arguments guys too. I want them to come. Yeah.
Hey, good.
I'm also trying. It didn't happen this year because he was finishing filming, but the guy who wrote Bill and Ted.
Who?
Because Chris Masterson.
I mean, wrote what was it?
Bill and Ted.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All three of them.
Oh,
So he
right.
just finished filming like 2 days before DragonCon ended. Started, but and he actually gave. We didn't use any of them. We just didn't have time. He actually, because he couldn't do it, he was like, I apologize, but I made a short movie for you to play between your sessions if you want. And it's actually broken up so we can use it in chunks, but we didn't have time to edit it. It was like just a couple days beforehand. So, and it's actually really, really funny. It's called God's Art Gallery. And God comes down and looks at all of the classic artwork and makes commentary on them. It is hilarious.
PG-13.
No, it's PG-13 or beyond sometimes, but
No,
there's a
you're
few
gonna-
that aren't.
yeah.
There's a bunch that aren't. So it's like, what, about 40 minutes? And it's like each one's like about 2 minutes. It's really cool.
And every year we contact Penn and Teller's agent and ask.
We've almost, one year we actually had Penn lined up. And what happened is how many people have been coming to DragonCon for more than 8 years? Okay, you remember about 4, maybe 3 years ago when Passkey screwed everybody's hotel room and like a bunch of hotel rooms went away and we had to rebook? It was that year. And one of the hotels that happened to was a hotel room for Penn. And they couldn't find another hotel room that would be good enough for him. So the convention said they would rather not have him in a worse hotel room so he doesn't get a bad impression of us. So we'll try again later.
Yeah.
But we try every year.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what happened. That whole thing where the whole passkey system failed actually got rid of Penn. I want Penn and Teller because Teller is funny as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could stand his own an hour's speech for sure.
Oh no, he's really funny. Yeah.
Well, we've got 6 minutes.
Yeah, so we're still up here. Anything? Anyone? Bueller? Somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Running up.
There we go.
Arise, microphone.
Oh.
That's nice.
It's a miracle.
Power.
His name is Alan Melikjanian. He's Captain Disillusion on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Alan. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see him around here.
Good point.
Good one, good one.
Yeah.
And I must apologize, Margaret, for not participating in your parade these past 2 years, as I'm now gainfully employed, and I have been for a while. I was a firefighter 2 years ago.
I remember you. The ladies went crazy for you.
Yeah.
Were you that?
They kept wanting to take their picture with you.
Guess what you get is what I
want to
now
take my
do
picture with him right
professionally.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Don't take a selfie. Take it full view.
It'll be best this way with the lights.
Yes.
This is audience participation.
I heard that one lady was chasing after him saying, "Show me your hose."
I know there's an Eagle sign in Dallas, but if you ever want to come to this one, oh, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, there is one right here, and again, I had to work 3 times this weekend.
Are you guys going to have a drink afterwards again?
I was waiting for the kiss.
I hear they got.
We're going to go to Benihana's after this. Meet us there.
Oh, I think Benihana's closed. We
Yeah,
got
the
to
one
come up with
downtown
a
here
second.
close. There's only 2 left. The one near my house and the one in
Oh,
Buckhead.
no.
Yeah, I know. I checked on that.
Our
I'm so sorry,
Benihana
Margaret.
tradition is done.
I know. We're going to figure out something else.
North Point in Roswell, that one's
That's the one near my house.
We,
Yeah, but that's
we
too
can't
far.
travel.
10 years ago.
No, there you
Okay.
go.
All right.
That's right near my house.
No, we've got to
Okay.
walk somewhere. There's
Yeah.
too many
So
people.
4 minutes left.
The people here in the audience who are intending to come back next year. Hey! And the panel.
We have a question coming up.
I guess
Yep.
do this, because, well, if I don't.
Yep.
I was actually going to say that next year I'd also like to see the Being Raised Skeptic track again.
Oh, yeah. That was he's right there. It was Kurt's idea.
Do you see who's asking the question?
Can you tell who is that?
Oh, I just looking down when you asked. Never mind.
I was a part of the track.
That's my son. He was on the panel.
Yes, and he
Yes.
was also the truth fairy.
I just don't know where he gets it.
Too much TV. That must be it.
Well, we're happy to have you. Thank you for doing that.
Yes, loved it.
Lesson learned. Look at the person who's asking you a question.
That was my moment of the con when they asked my sons, "What's the least skeptical thing that you've seen your father do?"
Oh, that was the best. And you were like sitting there, oh no.
No, because I was trying to think to myself, and I was thinking like,
Pray.
wow. Well, like the whole religious thing never crossed my mind until my sons went, well, it's the whole religious thing. I went, oh yeah.
See how far from that you've come then.
Yeah, but it just like it never crossed my mind. I was thinking like, I don't know, I purchased something without checking it out first, or like what have I?
Who was here
like a
when he
worldview.
actually came out? You know, so it was so close to you then, and like what, 3 years, and like I didn't even think of it.
Yeah.
And you were like really stressed out about it.
And the amazing Randy talked him off a cliff for a while there. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
that was, I've always looked up to Randy, and for him to call me every so often, ask how I was doing and things like that, just still blows my mind.
Oh, that's very sweet that he did that.
Yeah.
And on that
All right,
note,
two-
since there's like a minute left, I wanted to thank you everybody for making my first DragonCon awesome, but there's a special thanks
To Derek.
and Kurt for inviting me to come down and arranging it even after.
No, this actually goes to Kurt, because I tried to get you a couple times.
I've been
I don't
trying
know
to
how
get
it was
you
happened,
too.
but he's the one who made it happen.
We gotta get you there. Yeah.
And thanks to April, too.
Yeah.
Derek's.
There she is.
Yeah.
This is my wife.
Derek's
Thank you,
wife.
April.
Also, by the way, whoever is the closest to Randy, because I tried, and Davey was like, I don't know he can handle DragonCon anymore.
No, he can't.
But Pat, the president, and Rachel, the chairwoman, both said, get him back, we'll do anything.
Oh, good.
Really?
I told Rachel, I don't care, first class, like slow boat to China. I'll get somebody with a litter with like great looking men. I'll have them march up here.
We got the Spartans could help
So
out.
she's
I'd be
him,
way
her,
fine
and the president. They
with
really let him back.
Okay, I'll
Because
call.
last time he was here, both of them came to like every panel he was on.
Really?
Yeah, they're big
Fantastic.
fans of them.
And I was dressed as the frigatriskaidekaphobia treatment nurse that year, and everybody thought I was his nurse.
Yeah. Yeah. So it gives you an idea why we get this track every year and I get support is because, well, the people in charge, almost everybody that's a director at DragonCon, they follow this kind of thing too. So you're in good company in this in this con. So yeah, the people that run this place are skeptics too. So
yeah. That's right. Okay, well, last 17 seconds. Anybody have any shameless plugs they want to? No? Okay.
Nobody has anything to say.
All right.
We got 8 seconds before DragonCon's over.
Oh.
Countdown.
5,
Now it's
4,
3,
3, 2,
2, 1.
Bye.